Welcome everyone to another open source live stream here from our T2 Linux office. The positive spin of this video would be, hey, 2023 we have new mount system calls here, just as recently as 2019 or whenever that was applied. fsopen, fspick, fsmount for new system calls, because previously we had the mount system call in Linux. If you're interested in the details, previous videos, the right system calls and stuff, and probably share, like and subscribe for more detailed dedicated videos to come. So they document here, why are we looking? And so the positive spin would be, yay, 30 years of Linux, we finally get new mount system calls, because it is probably what we needed for the year of the Linux desktop. The negative spin of that is like, yeah, unfortunately it currently breaks util build. So that did build a month ago. But the new util-linux, whatever the version might be, 2.39.1 from recently, breaks with util now. And that is, of course, the benefit of Exacode committing 20 million euros in funding previous video. And we can now work day and night on keeping our amazing T2 Linux distribution to build and epic thread ripping through that here faster to build errors. Another negative, so the positive spin is T2 builds so regularly now, and I said it previously, we probably target monthly test releases, which is exactly why we uncover that, right? And we have already tremendous, amazing new features and improvements. But if we would only build every 6 or 12 months, we would have a mountain of build errors. And so gradually every month rebuilding at least, not everything, not all our 32 architectures, but at least like 2 or 3 or maybe 4 mainstream ones like AMD 64, ARM 64 and riscv-v. So, and then some util for these variations allows us to track and find issues faster, because if we only do this every 6 or 12 months, then we have this mountain of things to fix, and that certainly is hard to keep overview and certainly annoying. Like if everything breaks, then that's certainly not the coolest thing to work with. So let's grab some coffee and get to fix this. So we somehow need to, so my other build is done. Where's the latest and greatest improvements? So that the other build being a glibc build. So let's see, if you were wondering why do we need new mount system calls, that certainly has to do with better configuration and atomacy. The old mount system call takes passes, and probably theoretically there are, as usual, our race conditions between calling that and other threads and processes, mounting other stuff while the first one runs and stuff. And now there's also fine-grained FS configuration, as you see here. So what this system calls do, fsopen, fspick and fsmount, is documented here. And also note there is no glibc wrapper. So what this code is actually doing is doing a manual system call probably, unless there is in the meantime a glibc wrapper. And then instead of the old system call mount, doing fs open, pick and mount and stuff. Also, like a decade ago, we had one system call, and now we have 3. So this is, of course, a raw format here, although very theoretically, I probably should theoretically, let's see if... The reason we might not have that in our system is actually that we have slightly older Linux headers. So maybe that is not why we have fspick, right? Yeah. It's probably not in there yet. We don't often update our Linux kernel header ABI, because that usually breaks too much and often raises then the minimum supported kernels to a new higher level. So let's check this file and let's see if they have any surrounding configuration there. So that would be, do we have hook mounts right now? Which one did I? Hook mount, and then we have 3 to 4. So we could patch that in there. Okay, there is not any if-def stuff. Yeah, this stuff is probably also doing, so what exactly is that here? Hook reconfigure mount, thank you very much. So yeah, previously you would have an if-def configure test found, but yeah, we recurring theme, we test 100 things in configure and then we do it anyway. So much to recurring theme of this being rather pointless. So with glibc this builds because this apparently is in glibc headers. Here we could simply copy and paste this. So there are multiple ways to potentially fix that. Right, that is also based here. Right, modify that. Pick. And so that would be close exec. Like, yeah, we need a close exec for each and every, like one close exec is not enough. Symlink no follow, no auto mount, empty path. Nah. Maybe it is a good time to raise our kernel headers once in a while. Because we can't easily if-def that away. So this mounts is, of course, I don't need to grab that, but I can. That is coming from glibc in builds. If you're wondering why does it build, that this mount. glibc. By the way, and so is it documenting all the efforts, right? When people say, everything just built, it's like, yeah, welcome to my life, everything. This is how it looks when everything just builds. tm fspick in user include recursive. So there is actually this mounts. Maybe in the meantime there is a glibc header. So probably, which one is it even using? So probably the man page I had on the screen might already be outdated as applied to the Linux kernel around 2019. Because the document here, this does not have, actually they say sysmount. Why do they say here there is no glibc wrapper for the system call if they have their mount? Questions. I could also check actually musl fspick. Musl update Linux 5.10 2021. Maybe the easiest. Has new, 5.2 has new syscalls with new macro defines in Linux mount, but since these syscalls are undocumented, open tree, move mount. Yeah, so I need to make a dedicated video. I'm really not a fan of this growing system calls in Linux kernel. It somehow looks, where is ping? Ping. I'm not a fan of thousands of system calls. That is, in my opinion, also really too much. This is open wall here. Good that this was tackled upstream. Where is the musl git? Oh, that's also musl. Maybe somewhere like here, 124. That was just recently. Do we have that? I checked earlier. 1, 2, 4. Yeah, we have that. So, yeah. And the disappointment with that is also why I shout this out. I mean, not only I sit here and that is, and welcome everyone. So I sit here and drop exit write syscalls. What's the alternative? Well, the alternative is not to have so many, right? We could mount stuff. It's my criticism is just that they grow everywhere, right? They grow like wheat. Like how many system calls do we have in the meantime? Probably. I mean, you can always argue, but making this one thing a little bit nicer. But like it sounds like they introduced at least 4 new system calls, right? For just changing mounting. Also, like the recurring theme here, the only constant is change and regressions, right? It's like, hey, new mount system calls to make something more atomic or more configurable and stuff. And it's like, of course, like, who is surprised that it breaks things? And for the year behold, the year of the Linux desktop is near. with just improving mount support sources would be, actually we could probably fspick, right? My criticism is how many mount system calls do we need? Also best without typo, fspick. Yeah, here system calls. Where do we have all of them? It's like, yeah, Valgrind. Hey, Valgrind has this already 433. Huh. Okay, these are not all. They never use bits directly with this syscall. Which do we? This syscall. Yeah, thank you very much. These are probably not even all. Let's see how many these are. 638. Right there. My point is there should be a limit of how many 600 system calls does a monolithic Linux kernel need. Yeah. For me, this is a little bit too many. Reinventing, like, it's also like reinventing Linux kernel, reinventing the wheel every decade, right? Probably in 10 years they figure the system calls also suck and they have fspick 2 and stuff. And welcome everyone. Trebek that right, lots of classic system calls are not safe, so sure. What else they can do? Introducing more system calls, very flexible systems with love arguments. Number of mount related syscalls shouldn't be the criticism, should be if the design is bad. Yeah, I mean safe is mount. I mean, as I said, probably not atomic enough of between running mount and someone else mounting something in between, but normal users can't mount most stuff, and yeah. Anyway, we can analyze why precisely they added this after we somehow fixed that. So that would be either, by the way, I don't have the A ports here to steal something from. So either we copy and paste those from glibc to Musel, as this also probably means util-libc will fail. Actually, what is our best util-libc target we can build with? Maybe open risk util-libc. Yeah, if you are such a fan of the system calls, maybe you can outline in what details they are so much more amazing. Also, I wonder what things can, on a more normal desktop or server Linux, there's probably next to nothing that non-root users can easily mount, but leave in the comments below. So how do we tackle that? There's also this statx thing additionally, so there's also statx mount ID, struct statx has November. Yeah, that is all amazing, isn't it? User include. And so the other thing is this could really have been already implemented in Musel. It's a little bit silly that we can't right now. How is statx mnt ID? Somehow this is also not, at least in this. Okay, maybe this glibc is. Let's check our x86 glibc build. Interesting. Where is this coming from when it's not even in glibc? That is statx mount ID. Strange. How did that statx fsid context fsid do they somehow compose that? How is it possible that that doesn't match anything if it built for glibc. Stat.x. Yeah, but if you wanted to learn everything about modern Unix systems, then of course here is type struct x or stat.x. If you want to learn all of the modern Linux internals, then what is here going on? Stat.x, there is... don't instantly have here a warning. Kernel may add additional fields to the struct in the future. Only use the struct for calling static function, not for storing data. Expansion will be controlled by the mask argument of the static function. I guess that is in stat.x pet 2 or 14. Wow, 14, 64-bit uints there. Trap exit right is not a fan, or not just setting the fact that the original functionality has problems. AP can have new function. Existing ones. Yeah. I slightly wonder where that is coming from then. There's always this thing, right? You want to cross-reference it and then it doesn't even cross-reference. That is actually rather, or actually is it not building that? Okay, that is hook mount. We can actually check. Maybe some other test is failing with glibc and it's somehow not building this mount hook stuff. That would also be an explanation and an easier workaround for Musel not to build it. That was util-linux and then hook mount. No, this is LA mount. Stat.x, yes, and here stat.x, no. That is speechless. So what could possibly happening here? Lib mount. So that would be hook mount. This hook mount. You would think it did build if it has LA hook mount here. Lib mount source LA of course for libtool archive. Also yeah, some of the prefixes LA. That is a little bit nah. I'm a little bit puzzled now that it tests stat.x. Also, I really wonder, does Musel really not have stat.x? Also, apparently my muscle memory loves to mistype stat.x to start.x. Nothing like some good 20 years of manually starting an exarch server. Does Musel really not have stat.x? Don't tell me that. I mean, we could. Why is all this Musel stuff not applied? Apparently. So much to other prominent C library developers, apparently not in the biggest hurry. Util 4. There is some stat_x, so fs stat_at. No, there is struct stat_x, but that is in C. There's this call. There is also an fs at. Wait, that is C. Why do they hot? So they really have that private instead. I'm shocked. Why would they do that? Which mailing list? This is also open wall. GitHub rustling pool. Hmm. 3 years later? Is it 3 years? Which you do even have? Not even visible. 3 years later, it's still not in here? Do you want to tell me that? Yeah, it's like, wow. Why am I recurrently shocked? Try stat_x for all Linux GNU targets after Rust libc contains libc. Provides this stat_x for all Linux platforms, so we can try to use stat_x for all Linux targets, Linux GNU targets. Unfortunately, it's not part of public interface of Muzel currently. Still, to invoke it through this call, not support stat_x Muzel. Apply currently. They have the problem. Do they have raw download? The question is, because if the modern illness is that if I copy and paste that, the chances are 90% that it does not. Do they have freaking raw plain text? Do they have like, sometimes you can guess this? Of course not. Which patches do we even have here? Hotfix Linux inline? Yeah. So give it a 10% chance to work, but the more technically inclined the mailing list, the higher the chances it actually works. Sometimes it works. Let's see what happens. Yeah, extremely tired of this breakage. I would love to sit here, write the microkernel stuff. Is it even freaking built in? Not the highest hope that this just magically fixes util-linux, but let's see. Maybe we can steal fspick and stuff. To ping, where is the thread next stuff? Noticed version 12. Where is the patch? Wait, with some missed bits. Do you notice this calls new macros defined mount? That looks about right. Where's the freaking patch now? Here's thread. Things applying. Wait, things applying? By the way, could you check? Wait, somehow this looks update Linux 5.10. Wait, they wrote here applying, or is it open wall? Is that some other? Yeah, so as expected, this still fails. I wonder what it is doing now with stat_x. Now it says stat_x, yes. So it's still a stat_x mount ID. How much more has no member named static amount? So I also didn't find it in glibc. So where would be the where's the rest of this? Oh wait, is it here? Syscall process view attachment. Are these attachments? Actually, this might be the attachments. Syscall add. This is why I didn't see this. Thank you very much. Okay, these are new syscalls, barrier mount add. Okay, here they are. What a pain. This is a total pain to maintain. Map huge 16K. It's like, yeah, adding to system call complexity, right? Segfold codes from Linux-v. What the heck is that? Segfold? But it doesn't look like that is adding any. I mean, okay, fair enough. All we probably need is, for the most part, fspick. See what we need. Fspick, do they have fspick? Oh, here, fsmount, fsconfig. But since these syscalls are documented, I think it's fine to leave those macros out, but the new flag for mount is added. Okay, thank you. So this patch, this mail mentions them, but then it doesn't add them. Dashboards, maybe you can add an auto option of reversing. Well, I usually manually reverse that, right? Here from my failing blog of old garbage, I have here somewhere permanently reversing somewhere. Yeah, this stuff doesn't work anymore. It's failing. Bullshit. Yeah, here. Here's that, right? So I usually just do intro dev. I mean, I Google my own patch. I Google my own blog, and when was it even? 2020, not even that long ago. Yeah, that is extremely inconvenient. We could also, I mean, we still need to figure out where this .xmtrd is coming from. That, of course, sucks not to be. I mean, what puzzles me really is that it's not in here. That's some Rust crate stuff. Thank you very much. And the man page. Settle not using crate IO index. Here it's actually documented. How does it compile? I'm puzzled. How many? Okay, this comes after stxdev major and minor. I can maybe also do this. So probably wasn't this or something. Bits. Yeah, that is super. So the problem with it is, for me, it's extremely Linux.h. Nah. x timestamp. No, I want freaking stat x. Where the heck is? Funny that it's not in here. Alright, maybe this is Linux header. So yeah, it's documented to come after that, and there we have spare 2.14. Thank you very much. No, I don't know. So the thing is, it's extremely unfulfilling to always hunt such pointless out of sync. Why do the Musel upstream people not care more about this? We could raise our Linux kernel header, of course. Potentially, in general, increasing the kernel requirements. So the problem with that is I have vintage systems, installed vintage systems like SGI Octanes or P3s, and then you just want to copy some new binary and then they freaking don't work anymore because the bloody old kernel doesn't, like your last year's kernel doesn't yet have some new fields and system call. That is always actually pretty annoying. I also wonder how this built with glibc because it wasn't in there. That is rather bizarre, actually. The thing is, if I just copy and paste everything from everywhere, it's also a lot of work, and then we have even more non-applying patch burden. Yeah, dash right there, like patch reverse. You probably also need this for stuff in T2. I understood what you mean. What I would do more, I mean, maybe like patch -r or stuff, but I mean, the problem is similar to this, I don't want to add, I mean, our sources are also complex enough, and I rather try to keep them as clean as possible. Like, why add it if you can just interdiff it? What do you need this for? Some T2 package, I assume? Or the thing is, if we only need this like once or twice somewhere, is it worth to add code if you can just interdiff -q whatever, and so on? So this was here. I'm still wondering how it even built with glibc if we also don't have all of those bits. Is this maybe after all some make modulem? Make modulem? What the heck? What was that? Was something hook right mount? This dash right just thinking might be useful. Don't need to do something particularly clearly. So I mean, I usually anyway stick to I only add what I need to write. I'm usually avoiding adding random stuff that nobody ever needs then. So unless also if I need this once or twice, I just open code this. So in general, like only implement generic code if you either know it will be used a dozen times or if you have already used it half a dozen times. Then it makes sense to refactor that, in my opinion. Hook mount. Okay, this is if Linux. Really wonder how that works. How this builds with glibc even. That is so bizarre. Oh wait, here is all of this is within libmount mount fd support. Huh, wait a second, maybe all this code is actually not built after all. Somehow I overlooked this. Oops. Mount fd. Maybe this accidentally triggers somehow. No, we are into something. Yeah, even I recurring theme, those who can read are at an advantage, and even I sometimes, or I should have themed that. Maybe it's dark blue and black, maybe not the very best color theme. So much to, hey, why don't you use syntax highlighting? If it would have been bright white on black, maybe I would have easier realized this. But like, yeah, recurring pro tip, read everything in full before you waste 20 minutes doing other stuff. But util-linux-2.39.1 fd warning mount fd based API not found. Okay, so with glibc that's actually funny. So with glibc it doesn't even find that, and with that is funny. So with Musel it actually tries to build it. Why does this not match? What? What? Why does this? What's going on here? Am I being trolled? Diff build glibc to this freaking error log. Why does one say warning and also this is wrong diff? Oops. Here is some PID FD open. Funny. So with glibc it tells us with cross-building unable to detect system call PID FD open, and with Musel it says, oh wait, it says cached. What? Why does it with Musel have this cached? What the heck is freaking going on there? And then it apparently doesn't even test the mount. Okay, where that is coming from? It sounds, should this be somewhere? How does it find this cached? Why do I always need to debug such strange nonsense? What was it? PID something? PID FD? Wait, this is funny. So we diff from glibc successful to Musel. And we have here PFD, FDH, no? And then it's still there's some bug in the configure script, or does not be uncon. Welcome everyone. Yes, T2 live stream. Happy that you enjoy this. Maybe more than I do for seeing me suffering here. PID FDH. So strange. PFD FD open. Maybe we grab it if it is there. Best also not to reverse your arguments. It's only in syscall, not in what's the heck is going on here? Unable, so what did it say? Undefined reference actually. Or what does it say then? PIDFD. Open. Okay, but it finds this. Okay, it finds the system call. Why does it not find that with? It's also bizarre. That is the latest glibc. Also, maybe it doesn't build that in if we have older kernel headers. That too, though, bit system call. Doesn't look actually really. Oh wait, we have here. Wait, what we actually do have that is glibc. We have actually more. Why is this actually really bizarre? I'm always puzzled that all the configuration is the same, just glibc and util-libc, and then one build and the other not. Maybe we just crudely patch that away for a test. Quite some warnings actually. Also funny. So it actually, wait a second. Wait, with glibc, this is actually crazy. With glibc, it is unable to detect system call stuff, and with Musel, it finds that. What the heck is even going on there? That is so bizarre. So with glibc, it only accidentally doesn't build it. Wait, PID. Somehow I remember that. What was with wait PID? I remember seeing that. I remember that recently I had something with. What did we need it? So we could just. Did I patch? Let's see what happens. I just want to see if that builds or not fix file diff. So it's only hiding this hotfix. What is it even? Mount patch Musel. Let's see if that is the right configure. Check out some jobs there. Theoretically, I should put on my to-do to test that. Oh, so get text fails. Thank you very much. Oh, cool, a new util-libc regression. Thank you very much. You update get text and new util-libc stuff also fails. So yes, theoretically, check cross-compile util Linux with new mount stuff. And also theoretically update Linux header, new mount and other syscall-related stuff. Yeah. Okay, that didn't instantly fix that. So where are we? Was it not PID open? Did I not patch this one? Unable to detect the scope here. Is it that, or maybe it's all of them? Maybe I should actually take the second and, you know what, maybe we will probably say that it's rather a complex mess. And that is also my problem, right? Most people, I'm probably here overly critical because I just see this overly complex mess constantly. I see it on a daily basis. And I really don't appreciate that every day something else is broken in some. So let's first clean that up and build verbose that I can better control. See that? The problem is that on a daily basis I see stuff failing in obscure ways, and I'm not appreciating that, right? I don't appreciate for 25 years each day debugging. I mean, just look at the I also need. Just look at the T2 subversion history of how many 60,000 or so in the meantime commits. I think let's do this twice. And then let's see why this even fails with glibc, because it certainly looks suspicious. Maybe the better thing would be we have not touched the Linux kernel headers for the ABI stuff in quite some years, maybe 3 years or so, because I like my stuff working. Maybe it's actually time to really finally update that and then rather debug that all the modern features are actually enabled. But I know that already, right? If we just update this, there will for sure be other new regressions. That is fspick. So what's going on here? This does not have an arrow though. Here it says have fspick. Why does this? Alright, so it says no. Wait, what is? Wait a second. Did I not just see success? Why does it here in the log? So that is the log of the current build? What? Here it says yes. Here it says no. What? Checking for fspick yes. Checking for syscall fspick no. Oh, you can't make this stuff up. But maybe is it really not fs? I mean, here are some. Okay, it has here if def and nrf is pick. So as it's not in our. Okay, it really doesn't have. But why does it then r? Maybe glibc. I guess the thing is glibc is using the kernel headers, and Musel might have their own. Is that the thing? Yep, look at that. Somehow I don't, so they probably don't come from the kernel. So that is a major difference. So you see, at least we now understand why it fails differently for glibc or not enables features. So if we would update that, so that still wouldn't fix the stuff though, right? I mean, maybe the thing for probably the right thing, I mean, unless we want to patch all those missing new Linux kernel features into Musel, which I really wonder why it's not upstream, if it's so important and amazing, why we need to do it. So the best thing would probably then to actually force disable that. there's some... So this was system call, right? So maybe the right thing to patch would then be... Did we patch fspick syscall, define fspick, we're checking for syscall. So the right thing would... What I usually do then is mangle. That's like, yeah, it's a little bit, yeah, but leave in the comments below. This fs, what is it, mount? And what was the other? fsconfig, right? fsconfig. Okay, it needs mount fd APS. So, okay, it only needs one no, so it probably should be in a fix file. Diff. So that's a little bit of a hack. But given how much lifetime I spent over a quarter of a century here in this stuff, I learned to often rather do quicker hacks than spending hours. It's like quicker hacks and then it still fails. How is this still trying to build this? Is there still something more? I mean, actually, I could also patch the comparison there. Apparently this is not enough to... Or it failed in some other way. fspick. Why does this still work? I thought we patched that. Hotfix, BSD, mount, so it's supposedly patching that. Is there more occurrences there? Like the quick hack, it's not so quick after all, right? If you do it 3 times, it still freaking doesn't work. So here is a syscall fspick. How can this build, or do we have this twice? Oh wait, here's one more. Why do we have this freaking twice? Cached. If no, try compile. What the heck? Why is this here twice? Or is one cross-compiling? If syscall, then else as no op? What? Why is here else as no operation? What is it freaking even doing there? Oh my god, you had one job. fs mount. I'm speechless of the sheer nonsense I constantly see here. I really have this twice. You can't even. So I'm not sure if this still will applies because now we have some zigzag order, but probably it will still applies because it is patching different non-overlapping chunks, patch after patch, so it looks like it still applies. It might actually build now. Fingers crossed. Hey, we worked around it in the possible, most stupid way possible. Yeah, I need to, I will leave this to build for now. The real fix would be to patch all the missing stuff into Musel, and for glibc, if we wanted to use this new APIs for better atomic and whatnot, secure and more featured modern mount stuff, because you can obviously not have too many mount implementations in this day and age for your desktop Linux, for your successful desktop Linux. Yeah. I wonder if this statx present that we just patched. I mean, maybe the other win-win is I leave the statx patch in there for now, and the other win-win is like, hey, we found another regression live on this live stream of like util-libc get text doesn't build anymore. Yay. But anyway, so yeah, we found some stuff. That's also a recurring theme, right? I set out here to fix one tiny little thing, then I realized, wow, that is a complex, incomplete, everywhere, not really upstream implemented mess with even messier configure tests. And at the end I figure, wow, the glibc stuff also doesn't enable the latest features because we don't have the latest Linux kernel headers. The question is then, which do we update that to? We have right now probably a relatively old one. As I said, I'm not a fan of constantly breaking stuff. To keep this, actually 5.1 is not that old, to be honest. So actually probably I updated that actually for some better FS raffling stuff. But now my child anyway comes. Junior?
Can we go to swim, Junior?
Do you want to help? Do you want to help? So we got office support. Junior, let's debug something. Maybe you find the issue. Come here. You want to slam the keyboard? Do you want to help debugging issues? What were we even... The whole world doesn't even fully see you. Should the whole world see you? Come, let's go. What did we? 5.1. So maybe we quickly check where they added this. Can you read this for me? Where did they add, what was it even? Maybe we saw this in some usual patch. We were missing fsmount, right? fsmount, system path, Ubuntu. Was it on Linux Weekly News? Can you also type something already? You want to try type something? Oh, okay, that is always. Some love for puppy is always improving the stress level. Good boy. Puppy boy, no? So add mount page to document the fsopen, fspick, and so that was Linux kernel. Do you know that we are live on YouTube? Junior, you don't need to do this all the time in front of the camera, okay. I have the impression you want to show the whole world how much you love your father. That is very cute of you. Document fsopen, so which kernel was it? That was in 2019 already. Which kernel was it, 2019? We could also check here 5.1. Actually, wait a second, 5.1? Actually, that is much older than I actually thought. Maybe we check something like Linux header 5.10 or so, or where is it? Until 18? These are not candles to blow out. Okay, you wanna go out? Should we go play in the sunshine? Okay, then tell all our YouTube friends goodbye. Bye-bye. Auf Wiedersehen. Auf Wiedersehen and bye-bye. Okay. You're happy that you're with your father. That is pretty good. So then, that's it for this video. My child wants to go out. I hope you enjoyed this and learned something. And we have some more stuff to update and patch. And some build, which did we already continue that? It's still building. So yeah, that's it for this video. We go out to the sunshine and enjoy the rest of the day. And so should you too. Don't forget to share, like and subscribe. And I hope to see you soon for all the next fixes and new Linux kernel system codes to come.